Hello and welcome to today's video on how to make some personalized gifts for holidays, maybe dog collars, which will also be a part of this, or in this case I'm going to do a bunny ear because Easter is next month. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I picked up a gnome because my daughter loves gnomes, and I embroidered on the ears that said Happy Easter. But today what I'm going to show you is how to embroider on a much smaller bunny. Okay, so our goal here is going to be to embroider on this one ear. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've hooped up in my Baby Lock Flare, which is an embroidery only machine. So if you already have a good sewing machine and you want to add embroidery, we have a 6 by 10 embroidery only, which is a fantastic machine. And I've gone ahead and I've hooped up stick, tear, tear away. Alright? I hoop it shiny side up, and then I put it down and I scored it so I can tear away the paper. What's really important to remember on stiff stabilizer like that is when you put it in the hoop, to always flip your hoop over, look in the corner, and make sure it's in. If you notice there's a little hole, because I got started and I made a mistake, in all honesty, caught that ear in the wrong spot. But now I still have this whole piece of stabilizer that's going to work for me, and in my opinion it saves money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I want to use the name Levi. Because my ears are fuzzy, I'm going to choose a fairly bold lettering. In this case it's the first one. And I'm just going to go and put in, I think, all caps in this instance. I could do lowercase and uppercase. Okay, and I'm going to hit set. Now, right now, that lettering is a little over a ½ inch tall by 1 3/4 inches long. Okay, so I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go ahead, because my ears are fuzzy, I'm going to increase the density by an additional 20% to help cover that fuzz. And then because it is a baby lock, I have the ability to go ahead and resize everything proportionately. So I'm thinking a couple inches by 3/4 inches tall. Okay, but the question is, now where do we need it in this big old hoop, right? Because we want to embroider on this little section. In a baby lock, I can hit end edit, and I have could move the design anywhere I want in this hoop. Once I put the hoop on, it's going to know what hoop is on. But the nice thing is I have the ability to say, well, I want to know where the top of the design is. Slide my hoop on. So it brought me across here right at 12 o'clock. And now when I move it down, I'm moving it down in the hoop, and I can see where to place that ear. Now, I'm not going to just place the ear there. What I'm going to do is, once I have it and I think about the right location, I'm going to check the center, I'm going to check the bottom, I'm going to check the right, and I'm going to check the left. Okay, so now I can see all the way around where that ear, where that name Levi is going to embroider out. I also have my seam ripper in my hand. And the reason why I have my seam ripper in my hand is I know it's going to start embroidering with the L, and I've got a little fold on the ear. And what I love about baby locks is, as long as I don't let go of that button, I'm going to keep my seam ripper in here, and I'm going to gently hold. Oh, my needle came unthreaded. love these automatic needle threaders on these machines, because if you're going to embroider, you're going to be changing colors. I'm going to hope the bunny doesn't get in the way. And see, I'm threaded that easily. So when I lower the foot, what it's going to let me do is just hold that ear down a little bit out of the way. I'm not going to push too hard on my hoop because I still want my hoop to move. And as long as I don't let go of this button, this is as fast as this hoop's going to move. So if I needed to, I could stop the machine and hold a different part of that ear down. Because I did go ahead and increase the density of these letters, I'm not using a topper. And, you know, sometimes it's just easier not to. I find because of the type of plush on the Dollar Tree items, it's really not bad as far as coverage on the Dollar Tree fuzzy items. So I love the fact that even though it's an embroidery only machine, it still goes ahead and trims the jump stitches on my built-in lettering. I do also have the ability to turn that feature off. Personally, I think that the Flare or the Vesta is a great secondary sewing embroidery machine, or your first one if you're a quilter, because what are 4 6x6 squares that you've done? That would be called a 12-inch square. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to be able to quilt in the hoop, piece in the hoop, applique in the hoop, and combine them together and come out with some really great effects. So now when it's finished embroidering, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to raise that lever up, remove the hoop from the machine. Might have to give that bunny a little bit of a squeeze. And I'm just going to gently, in this instance, tear the ear right off of the hoop. And now, if I wanted to patch that piece, I know some people are going to yell that I do this, but I do it anyways. So I trimmed off one of the pieces off the corner of my hoop. See it right there? I'm going to peel that carrier paper off again. Hopefully this one I don't have to score because it's a small piece. And then from the bottom of the hoop, I'm going to patch my hole that easily. What do you think? So now we're going to go from that ear, and we're going to go to a dog collar. Okay? This dog collar is a 5-foot long dog collar. I have lots of grand dogs that come and visit. So we're going to go to the home key. It's okay to delete Levi. And we're going to go back to our built-in lettering. I'm going to stick with that same lettering because I think it's going to show up nice on the dog collar, or on the dog leash in this case. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a medium letter, and I'm putting in what's known as More in Point Fire. Why am I doing that? Truthfully, because I've got a daughter and son-in-law that are volunteer firemen, okay, and I thought maybe a leash in their cars in case they see a stray or something might be a nice little carry along for them with their fire trucks. So now I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to increase that density again so it's going to show up nice on the webbing. By the way, guys, too, if you ever need to buy webbing for bags or anything, these just came for the Dollar Tree for $1.25 for 5 feet. Not a bad yardage price. And now I also want, because this is 1 inch wide, I want it to be about 3/4 of an inch tall. So I'm going to go to size. And I'm looking right up here and I'm just going to 0.75. Okay. If I wanted it to be longer also, I could have also done this, but this right now is 7 inches long, which I think is going to be good enough. But I could, if I changed my mind, which I am known to do, can increase that as well. Okay, maybe it does look better. So now it's 9.39 inches by 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit edit, and remember, this is where we went. So I want to see where that 12 o'clock point is. I'm going to slide my hoop on. I am going to go ahead and move it a little bit over to the right. Okay, if I wanted to do 3 or 4 of these, maybe for more than one fire truck, okay, I could move it all the way to that left. And now I can tell exactly where the beginning of that M is going to embroider out at. Let's go ahead and there we go. So we're going to go ahead and change that color. I thought a nice orange would be nice for the fire trucks. So I clipped my thread, I'm pulling the extra out. So I'm going to hit OK. Now the other thing that's really nice with Baby Locks is if that button is red, all I have to do is push it and it's going to tell me what I forgot to do on the screen. In this case, I forgot to finish editing. So I'm just going to hit embroidery and say I'm ready to embroider. Now when I lower the foot, it's green. What are we doing? We're just embroidering on weird things, so maybe it takes us a little more to set up. And this is going to be a 6-minute embroidery time. If I, for some reason, in this case I'm going to do it, I'm going to turn off the jump thread trim, because then I'm just going to go ahead and trim the back of the leash so it'll be more secure for in the fire trucks. Okay, so our dog leash is just finishing up. And there we have it. If I was going to do another project on the same hooping, I could do that as well. So realize this is the same identical technique that I used to do customized collars. You can also do keychains with people's names or maybe teams, and then anything that has some sort of ears to be able to embroider through, right? And what's going to make this affordable and economic is by doing a bunch of different projects in one time. So again, depending on what machine you have, I use the Baby Lock stick tear away because these are all very stable fabrics. I used a polyester thread color of my choice. I made the lettering the size that I needed based on what I was embroidering through. Okay, and use the layout functions that I have on these machines. If you have any questions, I'm sure at the end of this video they will be supplying some different phone numbers and everything where you can contact us. Thank you very much. Be sure to like our channel. Bye. 347-7655. So if you want us to get some in the mail to you, or if you want to stop by and see us, we would all love to see you.